25 years. 25 whole years of me being alive. For better or for worse. A whole quarter of a century. I mean, I know I'm not going to live to be 100, but... So I felt like taking 25 days off my birthday month to talk about the 24 canonical seasons of my favorite childhood show of all time. Thomas the Motherfucking Tank Engine. There is no denying that half of this series is amazing on a variety of levels. The characters, the music, the animation, the model work, the writing, the morals, and the attention to detail in certain areas. Mind you, I said half of the series. The other half is either boring, frustrating, or a complete kick in the balls. So I'm here to tell you all my thoughts on all of these seasons after rewatching them all, from where it started to where it dipped in quality, then rose back up again, and then back down again. I will be talking about seasons 1 to 24 from the 1st to the 24th of October, and as a finale, I will talk about the specials in general on the 25th. I'm not making this last until the whole month because I have something else planned for the 31st, but there are some parts of the franchise that I won't be covering in this series, if not ever. Thomas and the Magic Railroad, since it's not really canon to the main series, Storytime audio productions and retcons, video games, toys, test pilots, the Railway series on its own, cause I already did that, YouTube shorts, theme parks, Thomas and the UK trip, or foreign dubs in general, and most especially, the recent 2D animated reboot series, All Engines Go. For all those people who kept asking me to review that series, I have only this to say to you.
You need to shut the fuck up!
So, with all that out of the way, let's get started. Welcome to Thom-tober. So here it is, where it all started. Back when the show used model buildings and remote control steam trains, when the episodes were 5 minutes long, when we had an off-screen narrator telling us the stories, when said narrator was one of the fucking Beatles, and back when they used to adapt the great stories written by the Reverend Wilbert Awdry, or from his son, Christopher Awdry. And let me tell you, for the first season of a TV series, this is still really good to watch all these years later, and after so much has changed. Sure, some future seasons may be better than this one, but season 1 still holds up 37 years later. Let's start by talking about the model work. Even though this element of the show will be improved later on, these engine models and the way they handle them are really impressive. They could have just taken the cheap and easy path by just making a bunch of faces to stick on a bunch of Hornby models and just run them along a single train set. But no, they went the extra mile by making them as expressive and as accurate to the original books as possible. They gave the models remote control eyes that move in all directions. They found a way to make smoke puff out of these rather small models. They made a library of removable clay faces to give the characters lots of emotions and expressions, and they custom made the models to make them as accurate to how they looked in Clarence Reginald Dalby's illustrations as possible. And on the other side of the coin are the sets the trains ran on. My god, even in season 1, they are gorgeous. Look at how big Knapford Station is. Look at how steep they made Gordon's Hill. Look how you can see the sea in the distance from up here. Look at how huge this iconic windmill set must have been. So huge that the tracks were set up on one side of the room and they put the windmill and lake closer to the camera. Maybe there was a gap in the middle for the modelers to sort everything out and we just couldn't see it. I don't know. The camera was set in such a great angle that you wouldn't know. And the viaduct set is my favourite set seen in this season. Look at this. It looks like something out of a portrait. And the fact that the camera is set behind a fence nearly at human eye level, it makes you feel like you are really standing in the field watching the big engines puff along grandly. And need I even mention the spring shots, the dawn shots, the dusk shots, the night shots? Even when they cover the sets with flour to imitate snow, they look pleasing to the eyes. The writing in these episodes is really clever and intriguing. Even though all of these episodes are adaptations of stories written by Wilbert Awdry, these adaptations are pretty much flawless. They hardly changed anything from Awdry's writing. They may have changed a few words or cut out a few scenes from the books or grouped two stories into one episode on a couple of occasions, and due to budget restrictions, some scenes couldn't be exact recreations of the illustrations. But the stories were told the exact same way as they were from the original books, and the strong morals and characters were still there. I have to say though, after watching so many episodes for so many years and seeing the series raise in quality over time, the first batch of episodes from season 1 feel rather simple and basic compared to what we'll get in later seasons. I know it's the first season, so I'm not expecting Edward's exploit or super rescue levels of awesomeness, but I don't know, watching episodes like Thomas's Train or Edward and Gordon after watching season 5 or 20 just feels a bit weird. But there are still a lot of great episodes to watch. The Sad Story of Henry, Thomas and the Breakdown Train, Dirty Objects, Off the Rails, Down the Mine, Percy Runs Away, Thomas Goes Fishing, Tenders and Turntables, Thomas in Trouble, Cole, and especially The Flying Kipper, for obvious reasons. Oh yeah, and the crash too. Now let's talk about the narration. Just a warning here, when I am talking about these seasons, I am only going to be talking about the UK versions, strictly because those were the versions of the episodes that I grew up watching. So I'm not going to be talking about how I like or don't like the narrations from George Carlin, Alec Baldwin, or Michael Brandon. I am only going to be talking about the original UK versions with the UK dialogue with the UK narrators. One of them being Ringo friggin' Starr. How in the hell were they able to afford one of the Beatles to narrate the show? That must have been pretty exciting to hear back then. It's the equivalent of asking, I don't know, who's big right now? I don't know, Rag and Bone Man to narrate the show these days. But they didn't hire Ringo Starr just because he was popular at the time. He actually tells these stories really, really well. Some people would say that he could have done what Angelus would do and give some characters more distinctive voices instead of just constantly using his normal voice. But I think his voice is already so soothing and pleasing for the ears that I don't think he really needed to. Although there are a few cues he does that are outside of his normal voice, and they are just so charming and funny as hell.
What cheeks, spluttered Gordon. That Henry is too big for his wheels. Fancy speaking to me like that. Me, who has never had an accident.
And finally, elsewhere in the sound departments is The music. Holy shit, the music. It is absolute ear candy. Well, actually, it's more like ear cocaine because it's so addicting to listen to that I just can't stop listening to them. Mike O'Donnell and Junior Campbell, I don't know how the flying fuck they did it. The music sounds rather synthesized and keyboardy in the first 2 seasons, but every single piece of music they composed here are still earworms. From Thomas's theme to Percy's theme. From James's theme to Gordon's theme. Terence's theme, the breakdown theme, the flying kipper theme, Bertie's theme, and of course, how could one talk about the music without mentioning the whipped cream on top of it all? The original Thomas the Tank Engine theme song. I've said it twice already in 2 other videos, and I'll say it again. The Thomas the Tank Engine theme song never, ever gets old. After nearly 25 years of living on this planet, I still think it's amazing. The timing, the beat, the instruments that sound like railway engine sounds, and as I have mentioned before, the fact that this song can be heard in 2 different ways. I loved this theme song as a stupid little 5-year-old, and I still love listening to it just as much as an adult. Even more so, this song is seriously up there with DuckTales, Inspector Gadget, and Doctor Who as one of the best TV theme songs ever made, in my opinion. So, as I said at the start, later seasons will improve on what this season has done in terms of music and visuals, but season 1 is still a beauty and a joy to watch 37 years later. The stories are flawless, the narrations are fun, the sets are beautiful and wonderfully detailed, the music is catchy as hell, and you can tell that everyone who worked on the show was doing the best out of what they had. They put their all into it, and they put a lot of detail and effort into everything. All these people right here, they did an amazing job of making, well, not the first attempts to bring the Railway series to life with a visual media, but they still did a great job making the series possible. Britt Allcroft, David Mitton, Mike O'Donnell, Junior Campbell, Ringo Starr, and everyone else. But none of their work is over yet. We've still got a long way to go. So see you tomorrow for season 2.